Welcome to all the classic car enthusiasts. Okay, so the situation with the Mini, the beige Mini, I've been waiting about four months, I think, 3.5, 4 months to get a test done in Austria on the car, which is called a TUV, TUV. It's an inspection, mechanical inspection, and it has to be done on the car that's coming from the UK or Germany or another country. They have to be tested mechanically before they can go on to a Austrian registration. They're extremely strict. The paperwork has to be absolutely spot on. So the bottom line is the car failed, Mini failed. This is a bit of a bummer, and it failed on some major things, and the other stuff was just crazy, just ridiculous. The main thing was when they put it onto the emissions tester, it was too high, so obviously it's running too rich. Because we tuned the engine, so I can detune that and get it leaner. That's not really a problem. They also picked up on the wheels, which I'll show you in this video. Even though the tyre tread is well within the arch, they don't accept that the tyre or the rim is outside the arch, which makes it's not going to spray it outside like that, but this is their rules. And it's only about 3/4 of an inch, if that. You can barely see it. He put a straight line against it and said that's not acceptable, blah blah blah. So but I mean, this guy got to the point where he was even complaining or moaning about the steering wheel in the car, which again I've got in the video. This is a motor liter steering wheel, wooden one. People use them all the time for sports cars. He's saying, oh, it's not original, it's not original. It's probably better than the plastic. My argument with it is, or my argument with him was, I said exactly the same as one of the YouTube guys said, is it's a completely functional steering wheel. It does exactly what it needs to do. It turns the car left and right and steers it, and it's as strong, if not stronger, than an old plastic one. So, but unfortunately when we went there, I had some reservations when we saw this guy. He was, the guy doing the paperwork was there in a beige jacket. It looked like he was going out to dinner. And the other guy that was with him was just as miserable. I guess it was Monday morning blues, what, I don't know. But the emissions were wrong, so that's fair enough. But he was very, very picky. You know, I mean, it is a Mini after all, but there you go. So it's failed. I have to do something about it, which I intend to do. So it means I'll have to put some Mini lights on it to get it through the test. Change the, I'll lean down the fuel, and yeah, I mean the steering wheel, you know, that's absolutely a ridiculous situation, but I won't go back to Fürstenfeld. I'll go to a place in Graz and get it done, where I had my last Mini done, my anniversary 25 Mini. Anyway, so I just wanted to bring you up to date. So bottom line is I can't put it on the road, so it won't be now on the road now till probably in the spring, when it was going to go on the road anyway. The issue will be to try and get the emissions. So what I'll have to do is once I'm going to have to take it somewhere on the back of the trailer, put the sensor in the exhaust, and then play with the carburetor needle until I get the emissions down to what they need to be, and leave it like that until after the test, and then I'll bring it back to whatever I feel like it afterwards, because the car runs extremely well, but it's tuned, you know. Anyway, so I hope you enjoy the video. The other thing is from now on I'm only going to put a video up once a week, because I'm putting up too many. It's taking up a bit of time, and I seem to be getting less views, so I think people are a bit fed up, and maybe it's, you know, there's too many videos coming out. So I want a week, and the next one will be on the track day car, because we've got quite a bit of work done on that. So I hope you'll look in for that, and catch you in the next one. Take care, and bye for now. Bye. So here we are at the test station, ready to take it off. It's a big test today, so that's where it'll be tested, in these buildings here. So we'll get it off and see how we go. Hopefully we don't have to lift it, because there's a little bit of a rise here. So hopefully we can just get it back. There'll be no problems. The other way. The other way. Yeah. Okay, straight. That's it. Go on. Go on. Yeah. might not be perfectly straight, but it'll give the idea or the effect. You can see if I put that in the centre there, there's less, it's just about half an inch, well perhaps 3/4 of an inch, and they're saying that that's illegal here. My understanding was it was just if the tread was out from the arch, but they're saying if the whole wheel is out from the arch, it's a fail. So I have two options. I can either put smaller wheels on it for the test, or I put some kind of extension on the arch, which will look bloody awful. Anyway, that's the issue. You can see if I bring it down here, you can see that back one. Obviously, it's touching the arch before it hits the other side of the wheel. So the back's fine, but the front is not acceptable. He even objected to that steering wheel, which is a motor litre wheel, especially made for a Mini. You know, it's a common thing to put one on. It's not standard. I mean, my argument was, well, it does what it's supposed to do. It functions. It turns the car left and right. It's stronger than probably a plastic one anyway. Absolutely no reason to. I think the guy just had the hump. You know, it was Monday morning. He had quite a few cars in there, and I think he was just hacked off. The two of them that were there. In fact, one of them was wearing a beige jacket. Looked like he was going out for dinner. This was supposed to be for a test. But there you go. Anyway, so he even complained about that. So we didn't do the rest of the test. I just put the car onto the trailer and came home. Pretty annoyed, as you can imagine. Before I actually check these clearances, what I'm going to do with this one is, I've had the weekend off. Sometimes it's nice to have a bit of a break, and I don't want to make too much noise in the lower garage for my neighbour. So what I'm going to do with this, I got a comment from John Shepherd, who I know from the E-Type Club magazine and the E-Type Club in the UK, and he made a comment which is something I was intending to do, because I haven't retorqued it, the cylinder head. But what surprised me was he mentioned that on a couple of occasions it actually loosened off quite a bit, so I'm actually quite interested to see how much I have to put on them to torque them back up to the top value. So that's what I'm going to do first. I've got the covers on. They're just sat on them, something to keep dust and any rubbish to go in, but they're easy just to come off. You just got to be a bit. You've got to bring them out very equal, because there's so many studs on them. There's 8, 10, 11 studs. So what I'll do is I'll torque down the head, and then I'll check the values, and once that's done and everything's good, then I can start stripping it down and do the inlet and the exhaust. So I hope you'll watch in for this. There are a beautiful engine, the XK. To me, it's a piece of automotive art. I mean, it looks gorgeous, and it runs well, and it's been around for a long time. I think these engines were running right up into the 80s, 90s, I believe, in one shape or another, but based on the same XK engine, which was developed in 1947, and I think in 1942-43 during the war, while they were on fire watch, Bill Haynes and the boss of Jaguar, William Lyons, started actually coming up with a concept for this engine, so it's pretty old. This cam uppermost, on the exhaust, there's supposed to be 6 thou, the clearance, and which is 0.15 or 0.15. And you can see there. Now this is a cheap set of feeler gauges, which are straight, as you can see there. And what I really need is an offset. So when I was talking to Sean C the other night, I think it was last night, he mentioned why not just bend them up, which is what I did to make them an offset, because to get them under the cam. So there's a 15 there, and I'll show you how far these are out. So you can see the reason you need an offset to get underneath there, and you can see that is very slack. So this one is a 20.25. So this is actually, so what's that? That's 10. That's 10 10 thou. Instead of 6 it's 10, so it's nearly double, not double, but you can see if I put that underneath, that's just about on the money. There you go, it's just on the money, maybe a little bit more than that. So you can see that that's got to be changed by at least 4 thou. So basically what I'll need to do is do all of these. Then when I take the cam out, take the sprocket off, push it forward. Well, first of all you undo the tensioner, take the sprocket off. When I take the cam out and I mic this, I'll put a vernier gauge on it. I'll know exactly what the height of the shim is. So because I've got 4,000 more than I need to add 4,000 to whatever that shim is. So if the shim is, let's say 25, then I need a 29,000 because I want to close that gap up. There's a bit of chatter there. You can see that even that's still, I think that's more like 26, 27. And I try to get an offset set of feeler gauges in the UK, but they only go down to 5,000. They don't go down to 4. And the inlets are 4 and the exhaust are 6. So that's what we're up to. And I'll bring you back when we start to change them.